Hi, hello, welcome. So just make sure that you can see me and hear me clearly, first of all. So if you can see me and hear me clearly, just raise your hands so we can start the class. Just raise your hands if you can see me and hear me clearly, or just drop me a message that you can't hear me or see me. Okay, right? So uh, let's continue with the class. So this is going to be our final class. So we already have finished three workshops. We have finished three classes. We are doing the unit 2 fundamentals of the computer system. So 80% of the lesson is almost covered. So today we have to continue with a small part. So as I said, we are doing the second lesson, fundamentals of a computer system. We have covered around 80% of the lesson already. So we will cover the 20%, remaining 20% today, and we will make sure to do some papers and we will sum up the lesson. Okay. Today we'll do some papers and finish the lessons. So while I'm sharing my screen, just send me the dates when your exams are over. Send the dates when your exams are over. Just drop me a message. Drop me a message when your exams are over. So when I screen share, you just need to pin the camera so then you can see me clearly. So let me share the screen. This is what I told you to write down last week at the end of the lesson. So give me a second. Okay, let's continue. So this is where we stopped last week. We stopped from the part data transmission media. So this is where we stopped last week. So basically, I will introduce myself. First of all, there are new students as well, I guess. So I am an advanced level student. I am doing ICT for advanced level. So that's all regarding me. I can make sure now we are grade 10. So you have around one more year for your all level examinations. So if you are willing to, this is our final workshop. If you are willing to continue with me until your O levels, so you just need to contact this number. You can contact this number. We will make sure you can add to theory classes. So 077 456 4305. This is the number. So this is admin's number. So you can contact and join the theory classes. Okay, let's continue. So this is where we stop. Data transmission media. I told you to write down this part. Data transmission media. So today we will be somewhat fast. We'll cover the syllabus because we are going to do the papers as well at the end of the class. So we'll discuss lessons from directly from the O level papers. I have summarized from 2016 to 2023 papers. So we'll do them. So today we are going to discuss about data transmission media. You have already written down the note, I guess. I told you to write down this graph. So the chart below, the picture. So let's continue. Data transmission media can be divided into two. That can be divided into two. So what is data transmission? So this lesson is, as I said you already, this lesson is regarding every single basic ideas of ICT. I already said that. So the new students can request the recording through this number so that you can watch the last three classes as well. So this is important. So data transmission media is important to connect computers. So this is what we call networking. So you will learn regarding networking in the upcoming topic, you will learn regarding networking. So to connect two computers, we talked about ports as well last class. In the last class, we talked about these ports. Can you guys remember these ports? So these are ports. These are the ports we discussed last week. So for you guys to connect to these ports, you need wires, right? So for example, if I take so this is a port. Now this is a C-type port. Sorry, not a C-type port. This is an iPhone port. So for this, there's a cable as well. You can see this, right? You see a cable as well. Even if I show me my mouse, so this is my mouse. So this mouse has a cable as well. So this is connected through a C-type cable, USB port. This mouse is connected to my computer using a USB port. So this has a wire as well. See, you have a wire here. So this is what we talk in data transmission. So they are going to talk about wires, basically wires. So there are two types of wires. So there are two types, not only wires. There are two types, wired and wireless. Data can be transmitted through wire and wireless media. So you know about wires. You have at least a small idea about wires. So let me speak about wireless first. So what is wireless? The Wi-Fi you use is wireless. The hotspot connections you use is wireless. So even if you take a call, what happen is Xiaomi connections. Can you see me and hear me clearly? Just please raise your hands once more. If you can see me and hear me, just raise your hands. There was a connection. If you can see me and hear me, please raise your hands. Okay, right? Thank you. So let's continue. So we were discussing about this data transmission media. So there are two types of transmission. Data should be transmitted for you to get the output. For many reasons, you need to transmit data from one place to another. So for that, there are two ways, wired and wireless. So for the term wired, in ICT, we use guided. And for the term wireless, we use unguided. So in your exams, you can't directly expect for you to be asked wired and wireless. You need to know the terms guided and unguided as well. You need to know the terms guided and unguided. What does guided means? Guided means wired. Unguided means wireless. So that's what we are going to these are stuff you need to face your exam. So you need to know these terms, or else you can mess up during the last moment. Okay. So let's continue. Under the wired, so we discussed about transmission media. So I'll use my spotlight so you can follow that. So we did transmission media. After that, we discussed about wired and wireless. So we did the basic description. So now under wired, we are going to see we have three parts: twisted pair, coaxial cable, fiber optics. So these are the three wires they are going to test in your O-levels. So under twisted pairs, there are UTP and STP. There are two parts, UTP and STP. So UTP means unshielded twisted pair. STP means shielded twisted pair. So we discussed about them deeply under this coming part. So now we are doing the guided or wired part. So first of all, what is twisted pair? So this is what they term as twisted pair. You can see this, right? Give me some more. This is twisted pair. Give me a second. Okay, let's continue. So this is twisted pair. Now we are discussing about twisted pair. So twisted pair means pairs of twisted copper wires are used for data transmission. Twisted pair means there are copper wires, two copper wires twisted. So that's why we call that twisted. So you can see the image as well. So you can ask me a doubt. So there are many wires, not only two. So you can see 2 by 2 pairs. There are 4 wires here. There are 4 wires. Can you see these 4 wires? So the 4 wires are paired 2 by 2. 2 by 2. There are copper wires inside it. So the copper is covered with a small silicon layer. So what is unshielded and shielded. So the above picture 2.63 is unshielded and the below picture is shielded. So the difference between the shielded and unshielded is better quality. Better quality. The wire is better in quality. So that's the difference. But the unshielded is cheap, where the shielded twisted pair wires are expensive. So we'll discuss about them deeply. So if you are going, if you have a doubt whether they are going to ask their price, so they are going to ask how good they are in data transmission. No, not for sure. They are not going to ask that in your levels. So when doing papers, at the end of the session, you get an idea, clear idea. So they are just going to ask you the what are the guided and unguided. So they are going to ask just basic information. So in this lesson, in the whole lesson, you need no need to memorize even a single part. Everything you just need to have a small idea. That's all you need to have, because they are not going to ask you essay type questions here. In this lesson, they are not going to ask you essay type questions. Either they are going to ask you that compulsory question, or that they are going to ask the MCQ. So the paper structure we have discussed in our first class. The students who haven't watched the recording, request from the number I showed you earlier. So let's continue. So unshielded twisted pair. So as a formality, I am doing this. So everything you need to study, but everything is not tested in the examination. Everything you have to have at least a small idea. That's why I'm teaching every single part. So this is our textbook, as you can see. So we have a tute as well. We are using both the sources together to do the complete the lessons. So this is a twisted copper wire used for telephone connections. So these are used for telephone connection. So they are very flexible and low priced. However, it is difficult to transmit data for a long distance. It is suitable for a maximum of 100 meters. So the next one is unshielded twisted pair. STP is a better quality and secure data transmission. However, it is expensive. Even they have given a small idea only. So next is coaxial cable. So these can be seen not only in telephones, I'll mention this as well. So most of the electric applications, even if you take an iron, the oven, or any electronic, even in a multi-plug, you have seen, right? So in every single data transmission media, they are using these kind of, so every, not only data is transmitted to them, even electricity can be transmitted. So that's all. So next is the coaxial cable. This is the coaxial cable. So this coaxial cable, this is used to connect TV, the TV antenna. So not the there are different types of TVs. There are satellite TVs as well as the antenna TVs. There are two types. So we'll discuss about them. The antennas TVs use them, and for CCTVs also they use them. So this consists of an electronic cable pair. The outer cable, which is a braided copper net, produced electromagnetic field around the center cable. These two cables are separated by a plastic sheet. These cables are expensive and used for TV antenna and CCTV. So this is very expensive. This is more expensive than the twisted pair cables. So the middle part, the both you can see here, right? So I'll draw and show you. So this part you see is also copper wire. This part you see is also a copper piece. So the both arrows shows you two copper parts. So outer part is like a net shaped structure, and the other part is like a rod shaped one. So the so this is expensive. This is connected from the antenna to your behind the TV. They are connected behind. There's a port where you can plug this behind your TV, and the other part is on top of the antenna. So that's all. You need to you need to have idea about the term coaxial cable. So this must be a new term for you guys. So you need to have idea coaxial cable. You need to memorize that word coaxial. So let's continue. Fiber optics. So this is the main part, main cable you are going to study under the field of ICT. In the field of ICT nowadays, this is the latest technology. This is the most futuristic cable you can ever see under the stream of ICT. So this is fiber. Fiber means I'll teach about that as well. First of all, we'll know the meaning of the term optic. Optics comes under science. That comes under science. So you need to that comes So you need to rejoin the meeting will end in 10 more minutes. You need to rejoin through the same link. So in our theory classes, we make sure to buy the Zoom package. I guess we'll buy the Zoom package. So let's continue. Optics. Optics means glass, or optics means glass, light. Light is the optic means light. So you learn this under grade 11 science. So there's no time for you to learn them. So I'll give you a basic idea. The data is transmitted through light rays. So what happens is this rod in the center. Can you see this? I'll show you through the spotlight, I guess. So it's better. So or else I can I'll show you through the spotlight. So can you see the spotlight here? Can you see the dot? Red dot here. So the middle cable, the fiber optic image, is the glass which transmits the data. So this can't be bent. This can't be bent. This wire. So this is a wire as well. You can see this wire, right? So this is a wire. I can bend this wire. So this is my microphone. So I need to. So this is a wire as well. You can bend this wire. You can do whatever stuff you wish with this wire. But the fiber optic cable, you can't bend that. You can bend that, but only for a certain extent. You can't bend as you wish, like this USB, these small twisted pair wires. So fiber optic cable consists of pair of cables. These are plastic jackets. Separate the two cables. So the core or the center is a glass tube. So there's a brief introduction about the fiber optic cable. You can read them in your free time. So this is our homework. Our homework is to send your notes for us. What you need to do is you need to send the notes for us, and as well you just need to whenever the class is over, you just need to read the whole thing. Not to read the whole thing, you just need to go through the whole thing after the class is over. You need to go through the whole thing we did throughout the class, not the whole lesson, only the part we did. So that's enough. So this is the fastest data transmission media at present. So if you ask me whether you need to write this down or not, you definitely do not need to. So they are not only going to test the part. So if I make told you to write every single part, so you are just copywriting the textbook. Our tube is based on the O-level paper standard. So our tube has a note what you need to cover. And I have an idea, I have a perfect idea how your O-level is going to be. So we'll make sure we'll give you assumptions. What questions? Not assumptions. We can make sure that that's definitely going to come on your O levels. I can make sure. So there are few lessons that you need to memorize. There are few practical lessons as well. So I need to request a help from you guys. So we are conducting our grade 11 free workshop as well soon. So I guess from the next week or around that within this month we'll conduct the classes. So if you have your brothers and sisters or your friends, so your grade 10 you definitely have grade 11 friends as well. So even in your school groups, try to spread that link. So that's pinned in your group as well, the grade 11 class. So you can see that. You can just try to make sure to share that so everyone can explain the benefit. So now we'll talk on the unguided wireless media. So today we need to go a bit fast because if you didn't go that we can't do the papers. So data is transmitted as a signal through the air without using physical medium. This is called wireless media. This is simple. So everything you need to have an idea. Simply, you just need to have an idea. Data is transmitted through air without using physical medium. So are they going to ask you what are unguided or what are wireless media? Definitely not. They are not going to ask. We'll tell you what they are going to ask. Every single thing you have written in your book. The note we gave is the only part they are going to test in your levels. So other than that, they are not going to test even a single word. So everything is based on the book. We are not going out of the book. Everything I have given in your notes is on the book. So let's see the examples. So here you are going to study three types of unguided media, unguided wireless media. There are radio waves, microwaves, and infrared. Infrared. So they have given you infrared. So we call it infrared. So let's continue. So radio waves. These are the waves that were used that you use to connect your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The Wi-Fi connections and the Bluetooth connections are connected through radio waves. So these are not that strong. These waves are not that strong. That is why now I have connected through a Wi-Fi here. So if the Wi-Fi router is somewhat far from me, the connection is a bit low. So if it is very much closer, I have a good connection. What does that mean? Uh, the signals are not that strong. That is the meaning of that. So even in a Bluetooth device, some Bluetooth device recognize if they are too close. If I keep two phones together, they recognize the device. If they are far apart, they do not recognize. So these are a bit weak, not that weak. That is enough for you to do your day-to-day activities. So next is microwaves. So these microwaves are what they are TV. If you have a satellite TV, this is what. Give me a second. So these are what. Let's continue. Huh? So these are what they use in satellites. So even in your TVs, they use this to share your media. So you need to have idea, just the idea. What is this? So this is good for a long distance. So if you ask me, are radio waves good enough to connect through a satellite to another satellite or a space station which is thousands of kilometers away from us and a satellite here? So it is definitely not gonna work. So the radio waves are not that strong. Microwaves are stronger. They can go for a long distance. Microwaves can travel for a long distance. So next we are going to talk about is infrared. Infrared. What is this used? So if you have a TV remote, you have a TV remote, I guess. Everyone here has one. So the TV remote has a small red dot in it. So you can't see that from your naked eye. You can turn on the camera in your phone. Just when you press a button, a small light is there's a small red light in your remote. So that is the infrared ray that's going. When you press a button, that's the infrared ray. So these infrared rays are not that strong, very weak. So if the TV is straight, you need to use it straight. The TV is straight, you just need to use it in the direction of the TV. If you use it in another direction, that won't work. Definitely that won't work. You just, but you can do one thing. There's a trick. So this is a thing that you can try with the infrared ray. So if you have idea, if you have to make sure this is a wireless media and this works through light. If you need to confirm that, you have a small experiment. Just try doing this. So there's no health issues regarding this. So you don't need to be afraid. Take your remote. What you need to do is your eye must focus on the TV, where the remote where you are going to use the control. Your eye must focus on the TV. So the remote must focus on your eye. The remote must be turned in the direction of your eye. So if you increase the volume through the remote and your focus is on the TV, definitely that's going to work because the light travels through the eye as well. Not only a eye, if you have a mirror also, you can try that. Mirrors don't work probably because you can't perfectly align the mirror towards the TV. So eye works definitely. Just try doing that. So we did that even in our childhood. So next, we are going to talk about computer network devices. So let me open the tube. So this is our tube. This is uploaded to the WhatsApp group, I guess. So if not, I'll contact admin and make sure that's done. So we discussed about the computer ports. Now we have discussed about the computer networks. We did that as well under data communication. Now we have network devices. This is what we are going to study now. Network devices. So what are network devices? So these are the network devices that is tested in your OLEDs. So these are the network devices that is tested in your OLEDs. So are they going to test something else which is not in this list? Definitely not. They are just going to test these parts. So what you guys need to do is write down the topic, your topic, network devices, write these down. Network interface card, switch hub, Wi-Fi, router, modem, firewall. Those are the network devices. So you guys start writing